All right, so here I'm going to explain the concept of variables and some basic arithmetic using the JavaScript object-based language. I'm going to work within the developer's console here in Google Chrome just because it can execute JavaScript. Okay, so when you create a variable in JavaScript, you're going to generally prefix it with var or let or construct. We'll talk about the last two later. Here we're just going to use var. So var is basically a keyword or reserve word that tells JavaScript that you want to define a variable. So I'm going to do var x is equal to, we'll just do 2. Enter. So now if I call x, it stores the number 2, right? You can actually declare a variable and then assign something to it in two separate lines. So for example, we could do var x, and then we could do x is equal to 2. Call x 2. Okay, note that variables, when you set them with var, can be overwritten. So if I wanted to maintain 2 assigned to x, and I assign x to something else later, it's no longer assigned to 2, and it's not going to warn you or anything. So this is an example of assigning a number. If you wanted to assign text, then you can just wrap that in a quotes, either double or single quotes. So if we do, let's do y is equal to, we'll just do JavaScript. So that now stores a string as opposed to a number. You can store numbers as strings, but in those cases, they're going to be treated like they're strings as opposed to being numbers, so you can't really do like arithmetic with them. So for example, if we did var x is equal to 1, let's do 1, and then var y is equal to 2, and then we add those together, x plus y, x plus y, did that backwards, x plus y. Then we get back 12 as opposed to 3 because it's basically concatenating a string or running two strings together. It'd be the same as doing this. Sorry, wrong type of assignment. Var x is equal to a. Var y is equal to b. And then we can do x plus y, ab. So effectively that's the same thing. It's just concatenating a string. In contrast to that, if we set the var, the variable, equal to an actual number, then we can actually do arithmetic. So we could do like x plus y, 5, x divided by y, x times y, so on and so forth. So I actually just did modulus there as opposed to division. Just realized that. So x divide y. Right. Okay, so couple notes on variable names. So whenever you do a variable assignment, you have some options for names. So you can use letters like x. If you can't start with a number, so if we did 1x, var 1x is equal to 3, that's going to give us an error, and that's because you can't start variable with a number. It has to be a letter. You can include numbers, so we could do var x1 is equal to 3, and that'll work. But you can't start with a number. You also can't start with special characters except for $sign or an underscore. So, for example, that doesn't work. But if we could start it with a $sign, and we could start it with an underscore. There we go. It's also case sensitive, so x uppercase and x lowercase should actually be two separate variables. So of course is case sensitive, and you can't use reserved words as variable names, so words that have special meaning in JavaScript.